Hey everyone, this is Gleb Bakhmutov, and in the next series of videos, I want to show you how to test React Native apps using Cypress. To actually create a React Native app and run it in a web mode, I will use Expo. So let's get started. I already installed Expo CLI on my machine. Let's check its version, 4.5.2. So let's see if we can create a new project. So I'm gonna say my React Native project. Later I will put this code on GitHub. I don't care about TypeScript for now, and I wanna create a blank project with some modules. Okay, let's change to my React Native project. Let's see what commands we have. npm run tells us where is start and where is start with devices. Now I will use the web mode to work with my application. I think this is a reasonable assumption, but it's very fast to work with project locally and watching the browser and using the DevTools, and then export to iOS or Android native mobile apps and maybe do a sanity pass to make sure everything works. Let me open the code. Okay, so what do we have here? We have package.json, right, with everything. We have Babel config that transpile our JavaScript. We have an actual app. Notice this looks just like React project with a couple of elements loaded from React Native library. Okay, so let's see how this runs. So I'll say npm run web. Now this starts Expo. The Expo runs its own thing, right? I don't care for anything here, but I care about this particular web view of my native app. It runs on localhost 19,006. I can see the content from my app component displayed in the browser. Okay, there are some styles applied and so on. Great. Let's see if I change, everything changes. Perfect. So let's start testing. Let me change into my project. So first things I want to do, I want to install Cypress. It's a dev dependency, so that's why -d. If you use yarn, you run yarn command. Okay. Now, right now we just install Cypress and I want to scaffold a new project. We can open Cypress once, or I have my own tool to initialize the bare project so we don't have all the example specs and so on. So what do we have? We got new Cypress JSON file. We don't have any fixtures, nothing right now. So the interesting thing that I want to put here is right away is where our local application is running, which is the same localhost and the port number. Okay. Now our initial test called it works should just open the app while it's running in the dev mode. Okay. So I'll say Cypress open. Cypress comes with just two commands. Cypress open opens interactive Cypress desktop, and Cypress run runs in a headless mode that could work on CI. Cypress discovered that I have Electron. Well, it comes with Electron, but I have Chrome and Firefox already installed on my machine. I'm gonna just use Electron, open spec, and I can see my React Native app in a web mode running right here, just like it runs in a regular browser. Let's confirm that it actually displays this text. I'll say site contains, and I'll just say contains, and notice when I hover, it actually shows this up. And maybe to make this assertion even stronger, I say should be visible. The site contains command already includes the existing assertion. This is just slightly stronger assertion. Notice that if I open DevTools, that the markup is all controlled by the styling from the React Native project. Okay, what else should we do? We probably want to open the Expo or run Expo and then open Cypress. So the next thing I'm gonna do right away, I'm gonna close Expo and I'm gonna install start server and test utility. Again, it's a dev dependency, so we don't have to install it as prod. We won't have it in prod, but we will install it as a dev dependency. Okay. This warning comes because I'm using Node 14 and Node 16, so I should have used the same Node version. Okay, so let's go to package.json and we'll install, or we'll add a script command, Cypress open, and we'll add a dev mode command, or npm run dev, where we'll say start test, which comes from start server and test npm module. And by default, we want to run the web script, so it will run the web script. And once the port 19006 answers, then we'll run cyclope. Okay, so let's say we want to work locally, we'll say npm run dev. Okay, Express starting in the web mode. Okay, so the localhost is answering, and then Cypress starts automatically. Click on the spec file, make sure the app works, close Cypress, and it stopped Expo as well. Okay. Now, what we want to do, if we want to just run all the tests in headless mode, we can just say run dev CI, for example, because it's kind of similar to CI, and it should, instead of opening Cypress, use Cypress run. Okay, so when we say run dev CI, it does the same thing. It starts Expo runs, but instead of popping up Cypress, it just does Cypress run. Of course, Expo is trying to capture all the input, but not the Cypress run. Okay, so Cypress is running, the test works, shuts down Cypress, shuts down Expo as well. Okay, now let me take this project. Let's say, what do we have here? We're gonna add Cypress JSON. Okay, now in Cypress we have a video of a test run. Okay, so let me see how it looks. Cypress videos, because Cypress run automatically captures the video. On CI, we probably should save it as a test artifact. Okay, now I don't want to check in videos, so I'll say ignore and add Cypress as a folder. Okay, Cypress. Let me put this project on my GitHub account so that you can see it yourself. So I'll say add new repository, public, add this as a remote and push it. Excellent. I will add a README later.